Alright guys, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about adding margin to your lawn care landscaping business. If I basically told you that you could very easily add 5%, if not 10%, gross profit to your business, your lawn care landscaping business, without doing much besides, tracking your numbers on a daily basis, I think most people would. And anyways, the thing is, you gotta track your numbers on a daily basis, but by tracking your gross profit on a daily basis per job, per service, whether it be mowing, landscaping, snow removal, once you track your gross profit and you bid every single job based on gross profit percentages, you will see a big difference in your business. I can tell you that most guys, or a lot of guys, fly by the seat of their pants. I used to fly by the seat of my pants. You still have to sometimes. But once I came up with a system to track my profit every single day by what the crews are doing, it totally changed the business financially. A lot of guys out there I know are bidding work by the hour. So you ask somebody, hey, how do you bid leaf cleanup? We just $45 a man hour, and then we charge them a little bit for disposal. Okay, is that $45 per man hour when you show up? Are you tracking indirect time? Are you tracking indirect time? Are you tracking travel time? All that stuff. So anyways, long story short, if you start bidding your jobs based on gross profit, and then going back once the job is done and knowing exactly where you're at and how much profit you had in that particular job, day, route, you will start to see a big change in your business. And so basically you have gross revenue. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, but you track gross profit. Gross profit is basically revenue less cost of goods sold. So, for example, if you charge $1,000 to do a mulch job for somebody, and it costs you $300 in mulch and another $100 in labor and fuel to install it, it costs you $400 to generate the $1,000. Your leftover $600 is your gross profit of 60%. Now, different services are going to have different gross profits. Obviously, landscaping, you can get a higher gross profit. You can get 60, 70, 75% sometimes. If you're out doing mowing, residential mowing, you could probably hit 50, 55% gross margin. You get into commercial mowing, the margins are going to go down, but the volume is going to go up to make up for it. So lawn treatments, same exact deal, a little bit higher margin. It's a little more technical. But anyways, what I recommend guys do is they go through and they figure out what gross profit margin they want for their different income streams. Mowing is a certain percentage. Landscaping is a certain percentage. Snow removal is a certain percentage. Once you have that set, you can then bid all your work based on gross profit margin. So, for example, the goal would be to get to a point where, easy math, every $100,000 in revenue your business does, you know exactly where your gross profit is going to fall. Is it going to be 40%? And you're going to have $40,000 left over to pay your expenses? Or is it going to be 50% or 60%? Every business is different, but the math is always the same. The calculation is always the same. And it's not just for lawn care. It's not for just landscaping. It really is for any service business. Electricians, pest control, tree business, plumbers, HVAC, the companies that are doing well and have been able to grow have done this through tracking their numbers. So I see a lot of guys when I work with them, they're leaving money on the table every day. They're not taking into account when they do a job, they're not tracking their indirect time. So, you know, say you've got a crew, takes them an hour at the shop to get ready, get out the door. They're not tracking that time. They're not taking that into account. They're only billing for the time that they're on the job. So, you know, say you have a really crappy day, your guys aren't efficient, they go out, they're only on a job for 5 hours, they had to work on some stuff at the shop before, they had to run all over town, find material, maybe they had a breakdown, and before you know it, they were only on the job for 5 hours. And if you're bidding on an hourly basis, $45 per hour or whatever it is, you totally just left profit on the table, because you have to track that indirect time. And you're gonna have days. You're gonna have days that aren't gonna go well. You're gonna have days where stuff's gonna break down. But you take your gross profit calculator for the job. You say, hey, listen, it's gonna cost me $300 to produce the work. I'm gonna charge $1,000. I'm going for a 70% gross margin. The guys go out, they produce the work, and you come back and say, okay, I bid it at 70%. It was going to cost us $300 in labor and material. Came back, it cost us $400. So you projected a 70% gross profit, but you came in at 60%. Well, then you can ask yourself, why did you miss the mark? Was it because did they use more material? Were they slower? Did you estimate it wrong? You know, and you do this every single day that your crew goes out. You're gonna know, you're gonna adjust your bidding, and you're gonna know the efficiency of your crews. And it's gonna help tremendously. And then at the end of the year, when you figure out, you project or say, you know, it's the beginning of 2019, I'm gonna do $500,000 in gross revenue this year. And I'm gonna do it on a 50% gross margin. Well, you do that, you're gonna have $250,000 left over to pay your expenses. I'll come back, I'll dig into expenses in a later video. I just wanted to shoot this real quick and give you guys my thoughts.